And we're live. I had some technical difficulties, so hopefully we are live. If you can hear me, please let me know in the comments. Hopefully you're watching via YouTube. Let's see if you guys are kind of here. Yes, and we have people here. Good. Hi, everyone. It is Tiffany. If you can hear me, first, let's just do a little microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. So if you can hear me, I don't even know how to make the comments. So the problem now is, for those of you who know me, know that this is how it typically goes. I'm trying to figure out how to enable these comments. So that way you guys, because it says all comments have been disabled. No, I don't want them disabled. I'm going to try to figure it out. Control room. Live stream, video manager. Hopefully it'll say something here. Videos. If somebody's tech savvy, if you want to call me and be like, Tiffany, this is how you make the live stream work, that would be great. I don't know. Darn it. Actions. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. This is like literally, no, it should have been. I'm just trying to figure out how to make it so you guys can talk back to me. Oh, you can hear me. Good. I see people commenting, but how come I can't see the comments? Oh, okay. Well, here they are behind the scenes. Okay, good. All right. Well, I have like 2 separate pages. If you are messaging me and I'm on right now, please just give me a moment because clearly I can't talk to you and do this at the same time. All right. So I think we're cooking with grease. For some reason, it's not showing the comments to me because I want to be able to like see you guys. So don't worry about it. We're just going to get started. All right. So I am Tiffany, the Budgetnista. Sorry, we're a few minutes behind, but I'm super excited because I want to talk to you about the challenge. Well, first, I'm going to share a little bit about me because I don't know that everyone is kind of familiar with me and my story. Of course, the heat is on ignorance. So now I'm hot. I don't want to get up and turn down the thermostat. All right, so I'll tell you a little bit about me. So I started the Budgetnista really around 2009, 2010. And I started it because so many people were reaching out to me, asking me for financial help. I grew up in a household where money was talked about all the time. And as a result, I just got to be really savvy about money. My father was a CFO and an accountant, and he just talked to my sisters and I about money all the time. And I took that knowledge and started helping my friends in college and then just beyond. And soon before I knew it, I just became like the go-to girl for finance. So I was a school teacher for about 10 years, and I lost my job during the height of the recession. And it was really then that I realized, you know what? This is what I want to do, because I used to teach my kids during the day, and then I would help their parents at nap time with their finances. Their parents would ask me for like financial help. And so that's kind of how the Budgetnista started, just really helping my community with their finances. And then it kind of grew to where I am now. So today I just have a few things I want to go over, and then I want to open it up to Q&A, even though I still can't see your comments, which is very frustrating. I don't know how to see the comments, which is like, hold on, I'm going to see 7 seconds. All right, I don't know. I'm still trying to see all videos. No, just the comments for this one. Okay, I'm going to just leave it for now because for whatever reason, I'm having a hard time seeing your comments on like the basic page, and I want to be able to see them. All right, so let's get started. So this is how the challenge works. So it is a 22-day challenge, and every day starting tomorrow morning, and the tasks are sent to your email inbox. So the email that you used to sign up with, that is the email that you are going to get the challenge task to. So every day for 22 days, 3 weeks basically, you are going to get a small, easy financial task in your email inbox. It's going to tell you exactly what to do, exactly where to go. It's going to give you all the resources that you need. And so this is our 2nd year doing the challenge. Last year, my goal was 10,000 people. We hit 20,000. This year, my goal was 30,000, and we're at over 55,000 people, especially women worldwide, 70 different countries, 70 plus, all 50 states. So we're really rocking out. During the challenge too, you will have a video task. So once a week, there's actually a video where I kind of explain what that day's task is. And every Sunday at 9 p.m. during the challenge, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I kind of like talk to y'all like I'm talking to you guys now and kind of go over the week. So that way, if you have any questions, any concerns, something has happened, you can kind of like ask me those things during that time. All right. And also too, during the challenge, my favorite part is that you get group support. So what that means is, as you're kind of going through the challenge, and if you're struggling, you will be able to get help and support. Not just me, but I have other financial experts in our group. I also have other people in the group who are just like you, who are kind of going through things, and they might have figured out something and they'll be able to share it with you. So it's just really honestly just a great, well-rounded way for you to learn. Because as a teacher, as a former teacher, well, I'm still a teacher, but as a former teacher, I understand that people learn in different ways. So you might need to watch something, you might need to read something, you might need to write things down, you might need to ask questions. So I try to provide all the ways that people learn. I try to provide you an opportunity to learn about personal finance in those ways. See, that's my teacher training. So how is this challenge different? I know we have some people who, okay, look. Oh, she's here. Okay, good. So if you're here, just let me know, like, hey, I'm here. Or like I said, I'll answer questions later. So this is how this challenge is different. So last year was, like I said, our first year doing the challenge. And this year, the way this challenge is different is that last year we focused basically on everything. Money mindset, a little bit of budgeting, some savings, credit, debt, insurance, investing. And so this year I decided that I wanted to focus on just something, a smaller task. And I asked you, for those of you who did the 2015 challenge, I said, what is your number one goal? And hands down, the number one goal was you wanted to save more. And so I was like, okay, so let's do that. Let me help you to save more. So that's why this challenge is the savings challenge, the savings edition. So it's the Live Richer Challenge, savings edition. 2017, we might do the Live Richer Challenge, investment edition. It depends on like what your feedback is. But every year, every January, because January is the time that everyone's trying to make a new way and a new life for themselves. So every year we will be doing a Live Richer Challenge, and you guys will pick basically what the topic is going to be. So you guys really like help me to shape what your experience is going to be. Also, this challenge is a little bit shorter. So I asked for a lot of feedback, like, well, what did you like? What didn't you like? What could we do better? So the 2015 challenge was 36 days, 5 weeks. And many people said it was a little long, that they fell off after a little while. So I said, okay, I did a little research and I found that at the very least, if you want to make a change in your life, you have to do something different, or you have to work toward that change for 21 days at the very least. So that's why this challenge is 22 days. So it's a little bit shorter to kind of help you, but it's long enough so that way you can actually make these concrete changes, but short enough so hopefully, you get to stay on task. So it's 3 weeks. So really try your best to stay on task and to stay with us, because there's so many people. I can't even tell you some of the changes that I've seen people make. People have bought houses because of the last challenge. Women have went from being homeless to being able to afford their own apartment. People have been able to save thousands and thousands of dollars. We collectively saved well over $4 million. We collectively paid off well over $500,000 worth of debt as a result of the old challenge. I mean, the huge leaps. A woman wrote me once and she said, I have always paid my bills late, always. And for the first time in my adult life, I'm on time. So if you stick with the challenge, none of the tasks are super hard. They just require you to do a little bit of work. I can't do everything for you now. So if you just stick with the challenge, I promise you, you're going to see a difference and a change. Let's see. That's how the challenge is different. So why is it? Okay, so I have notes here because I have like the LRC challenge notes. So the reason why the challenge is done the way it's done. One, a lot of people ask me, why women? Why women? Well, one, hello, I'm a woman, if you can't tell. And two, yeah. Two, I find that, well, honestly, when I was sharing some of my financial advice online, I found that like 99% of the people who asked me for advice and help were women. And as a result, I said, well, why am I not speaking to women directly if that's who's asking for my assistance? And so I really started to hone my conversation toward women. So that's one. And I find too that women work best in community. So that's why I've done it this way. That's why you're not alone. That's why I started the group. This is why I tell you to get an accountability partner, that we work best in community. We go to the bathroom together. We go to the gym together, right? You talk about raising your kids together. So women work best when they have people surrounding them who are supportive, encouraging, and will hold them accountable. So that's the challenge, really like leans into the fact that mostly women are joining. So we have I think we have over 55,000 people who have signed up for the challenge, and maybe like 300 or 400 are men, which is great. But just know that my original goal was to help women get on task. And that is still my goal, but I do not turn anyone away. So if your boyfriend, your husband, your brother wants to join, send them on over. But just know that my core goal is to help women, although the task can be done by anybody because money is money. So that's my ultimate goal. And really, honestly, my ultimate goal is every January, I want like an army of women. So right now we're about 55,000 women strong. But every January, I want an army of women. I want 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, 1 million women in January collectively working on our finances together. Can you imagine the shift, in our economy? Can you imagine the shift in our communities, in our neighborhoods, just in our country? Can you imagine what that shift would be if every single January, hundreds of thousands and millions of women are working on their finances and telling their boos and their kids and their friends, like, no, girl, this is how you save. This is how you budget. This is how you invest. Can you imagine the cosmic shift? And so that is my ultimate goal. And that's why the challenge is free. This is why I've created it in such a way that you're not alone, because I really think that the key to changing some of the world's ills lies within us. And so I really think that, this challenge is my life's work. And I do a lot of other things, but I created this and I made it free because that's how important it is to me. All right. Let's see. Can you see this comment? Oh, yeah. Hi. So I'm kind of like looking at your comments in some weird page that's whatever. We're here now. Let's see. Okay. So group rules. So like I said before, women work. And so if you have questions, literally I'm almost on my little LRC notes. So as soon as I'm done, I'm going to open up the floor for questions and just answer your questions. So group rules. So we have a Live Richer challenge. Well, really, we call ourselves the Dream Catchers. So we have an online group. It's on Facebook. So the way the group works is this. One, the group has grown so much that we don't allow for people to just add their friends in. So before, if you could add your friend, there's like a little box at the side that says add a friend. Add your friend. But what we found was that people who did not get what we were about were posting kind of random things. So we don't allow for people to just add their friends in because the group is a private group. So someone has to click join. And once they click join, or once you kind of add someone, you go on this list, and the admins are the only ones that see the list. And the admins have to say approve or ignore, approve, ignore, approve, ignore. So we are ignoring those people who are added by someone else. Instead, if you want your loved one, your boo, your husband, your wife, your whoever to join the group, they can go through the challenge. So send them to livericherchallenge.net and they can join the challenge. And if they're like, oh, I kind of don't want to join the challenge, I just want to do the group, then they can go to livericherchallenge.com. There's a button that says forum. And once they click the forum, they're going to go through a little like mini boot camp to really educate them on what the purpose of the group is. Because we want to make sure that people who are there because they want to be there. They weren't just added by someone, and they get what we're about. So the boot camp explains the rules and exactly how the group goes. So 2 ways. Have them join the challenge, livericherchallenge.net. They don't want to join the challenge? Fine. They can go to livericherchallenge.com and click forum. And then they'll go through a little boot camp, and then it'll invite them to be added to the group. So here are the group rules. We have 3 group rules. So for those of you who are in the group, you should know these group rules. We say them every day. I'm always posting them and reposting them. You probably watched the video where I explain the rules. You probably got an email where I explain the rules again. And some of y'all still breaking the rules. That's okay. So actually, yeah, whatever. So anyway, so here are the group rules. Rule number 1, no solicitation. What is a solicitation? A solicitation is you posting to put money in your pocket, meaning like, hey girl, buy my bows. Or like, come to my website. Or you growing your list like, hey, I've got this free great product or free like email or whatever it is. And, whatever it is you're giving away, but give me your email so I can send it to you. No, you cannot collect emails. You cannot send people to your new Facebook group. You cannot send people to your Twitter account. You can't do any of those things. And some people have hit me behind the scenes and they're like, why? How come you can make money, Tiffany? One, I don't even solicit in the group. I mean, we do have the book that I share. I don't solicit, so I'm gonna let you solicit. Two, the fact is that from 2009 to 2016, I have only worked on the Budgetnista. I have spent tens of thousands of dollars of my own money. For 2.5 years, I lived in a room, not an apartment. I rented a room for $500 a month because I could not afford anything else. At 30, I moved back home with my parents. At 31, I was sleeping on my sister's couch. I have put time, energy, money, tears, sweat, time away from family and friends to grow the Budgetnista and the Live With Your Challenge to where it is now. So what that means is I have put all of this effort into creating what you are now enjoying, and to ask me to say, hey, let me give it on over to someone who's given nothing to that, and to tell me that I'm being unfair. So that's not most of you, but every once in a while I get that. And honestly, it kind of hurts my feelings because I'm just like, what? Like literally I've given my life to helping, but it's not enough. It's like some people want to take a little bit more. And the answer is absolutely no. So you are not allowed to solicit. That is the number one rule. And if you're caught soliciting, honestly, we let go of people. So if some people do it accidentally, they're brand new, and I get that. So we just delete the post. But if it's something that happens continually, we delete the post and we ban the person. So I'm really hardcore fast on that, no soliciting. Two, our number two rule is keep it financial. So we're a money group. So I've seen some posts where it's like, this is not really about money, but real quick, now this is a financial group. We have to keep the post about money. If let's just say you have something, for example, you might say, oh, I cooked a meal today. Not just, oh, I cooked a meal today. How does that relate to personal finances? You could easily make that about personal finances. I saved, $30 by cooking my own meal. Make it about finances. This is a financial group. I don't want the group to be like, just kind of like a mix of all these random things and random thoughts. So if your post is not financial, then it gets deleted as well. Because we really want to streamline the group and make it about personal finance, So just keep that in mind. Keep it financial. Ask a financial question, give a financial testimony. Even if you're sending a prayer, make it a financial prayer. Whatever it is, keep it financial and you'll be fine. Even if it's a meme, now don't meme out, because sometimes y'all be memeing out. Even if it's a meme, it's funny. I like a funny meme now. Make it financial. Rule number three. So rule number one, no soliciting. Rule number two, keep it financial. And rule number three, my favorite rule, keep it positive. I don't know if you noticed, I'm pretty much a happy person, right? I'm silly, I'm goofy, I'm happy. And so I like that kind of energy. And so finance is already boring enough. It can be hard enough, sad enough, mean enough. Let's not bring that into the group. Let's keep it happy and light. And even if you don't agree with someone, that's okay. There's times when I read stuff and I'm like, unless it's financially wrong, then I will try to correct it. But if it's like just we have a difference of opinion, even I might even say, well, I would normally do it this way. But we can be nice. You can disagree and still be respectful and still be kind. It's scary kind of being out here by yourself, managing your money. So the group is a safe place in a no judgment zone. So if someone posts something that you're like, I don't know, that's a great idea. That's not the time to attack anyone. That's the time to share your opinion in a kind, gentle way. Because if you do not, you already know, delete. If it's really nasty, delete and ban. Because I will not allow that someone has opened up their heart and their soul, especially when they've been afraid to do it anyplace else. And when they do, they get shut down. That's not going to happen. Not in my group. And so that's like the preschool teacher in me. Like, no, this is Barney. I love you. You love me. And so, no, honestly, that's really important to me. Keep it positive. And so if you see something in the group where it's not financial, it is soliciting, and it's negative, there's a little X if it's a comment, or an arrow if it's a post. You click on that X or that arrow and a menu drops down, and there's an option to report comment or report post. When you do that, you do so anonymously. That means no one will know. It will pop up only the admins. There's me and like six other admins. Only the admins will see that a post or a comment was reported, and then we'll take a look. If we feel like it's fine, we'll let it slide. If we don't think it's fine, we'll delete it. If we think it's really abusive, we'll delete it and delete the person. So please help us keep our group financial, positive, and solicitation free. Okay? Okay. All right, one last thing. All right, well, a few more things. Okay. So the group is really supposed to really be a larger accountability partner. So it's like you have 50,000 accountability partners, but I would suggest picking one or two people up front. Let me see. Ready for this new stuff? I'm just looking because I see you guys have some comments. I want to make sure. Okay, good. Here, good. So like I said, if you have any questions, I'm going to get to them. Wow, it's like 2,000 y'all watching. Woo-hoo. So accountability partners. Women work best in community. People work best with help. So try your best, if you can, not to work alone. You might say, well, I don't know anybody. My sister doesn't want to do it. My brother doesn't want to do it. My husband's not on board. That's fine. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to create a post in the group, in the Facebook group, the Dream Catchers group, where it says, if you're looking for an accountability partner, say so here. And then people will comment underneath, and you can kind of just hit each other up in those comments, okay? So find someone. They don't have to live in your city, in your state. So the way the accountability partner should work is that every day during the challenge, you guys should be connecting with each other every day. So either you're texting each other, hey girl, did you understand today's task? Or did you do it? Or congratulations or whatever. You can email each other. It could be a call, whatever that looks like. It could be a Facebook message. Check in every day for those 22 days to make sure that your accountability partner is staying on task. So either you bring your sister in and make her sign up. You tell your husband, look, we're doing this together. You do that work, which would be great. There's so many things you can do to get your accountability partner. And if you still can't find anybody, that's fine, because I get it. Like I said, I'm going to create a post in the group that says, post here if you're looking for an accountability partner, and then you guys can connect with each other that way. So that way we get you covered. All right. So, some of you have asked me this, so we'll wrap it up. So I have 3 books. So we all know that the new book, well, not we all know, but the new book has come out. Isn't it pretty? This cover is just so pretty. This is like my favorite color. And so the new book came out, but I have 2 other books, and I think people have been confused when they're getting the book. So I'm going to talk about each one of them differently. Book number 1 is the Live Richer Challenge. No, book number 1 is late, is the 1 Week Budget. And so this is my first book that I wrote in 2011. And it's an Amazon #1 bestseller. Honestly, it does consistently well. I think it's #1 on Amazon as well today too, in personal finance. And this book will teach you step by step how to create and automate your own personal budget. Step by step. That's what the 1 Week Budget is. It just focuses on your budget. It does talk a little bit about credit and paying off debt, but as it relates to your budget. So if you're like we're gonna go over budget in the Live Richer Savings Edition, but this is like the hardcore budget Bible, basically. So that's what this book is. So that's book number 1. Book number 2 is the Live Richer Challenge, the first one. So this is the 2015 Live Richer Challenge. And so a lot of you have gotten this book, which is great, but this is not the book for the new Live Richer Challenge. Let me say this too. You don't have to get the books in order to do the challenge. These are companion pieces, because a lot of people hit me up and they said, Tiffany, I'm not a person who's super online, or like, I'd like to do it at my own pace. Well, I created the book for those people who are like, my grandma is not trying to get online, or now this challenge doesn't even run anymore. So you can't get this online anymore. So instead, you'd have to get the book if you want to do the 2015 challenge. This is a 36-day challenge. This challenge was the one where it was like week 1, money mindset, week 2, budgeting, week 3, credit, 4, debt, 5, insurance and investing. So this book was the original challenge, and it's still a really great resource. So the new book is a completely different challenge. Like I said, every year we'll have a completely different challenge. So the new book, the Live Richer Challenge Savings Edition, is all about savings and abundance. Week 1 is money mindset, is savings mindset. Week 2, implementation and automation. And week 3, increase your abundance. So that's what these 3 weeks we're going to go through. That's what you're going to be learning each week. And this book, like I said, I created it to go along with the challenge, because so many people like to. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the inside. So all the books kind of look the same on the inside, because the school teacher in me knows that when people are learning something new, they like to be breadcrumbs to success. They like their hand to be held, like take a step, take another step. And so that's what the books do. So, for example, here is day 4. I know it's like hard to see. So day 4 will tell you exactly what to do. And then oftentimes too, like let's just say, see, there's a place for you to fill out stuff. Also too, you will get like, if I tell you to do, I'm showing you how to do a little bit of a budget in here, I will create, here it is, where it is, I just saw it. I give you a blank budget sheet. And like I said, some people want to take this to work with them and want to work on it there. There's even a checklist at the end. Like, did you do these things? Check, check, check. Like I said, I'm pretty good at developing curriculum. Like here's the budget worksheet. I'm pretty good at developing curriculum because I've done so. I have my master's in education. I was a teacher for over 10 years. So I get how the brain works out and breaks down things. So that's why the challenge is 22 days. Like day 1, just do this. Day 2, just do this. So that way I don't overwhelm you. So all 3 of those books are available on Amazon. If you just type in the Budgetnista, they will all come up. People ask me, well, what should I start with if I'm going to get a book? Honestly, I say, well, right now, I would definitely start with, obviously, because we're working on this, if you want to get this book on Amazon. But you might find yourself saying, I'm really struggling with budgeting. Well, then get the 1-week budget. Or I did the savings editions. I feel great, but I want to do even more. Okay, we'll get the original Literature Challenge book. I have Susie Orman's books. I have David Ramsey's books. I have David Bach's books. I have books on books on books because I know that I can only get better with the more that I learn. And like I said, all 3, isn't it so pretty? They look like a little rainbow. All 3, I feel like Vanna Black. Vanna Black. I'm silly. All 3 are available on Amazon. All right, so this is kind of like my last thing. Let me just go through and look at these comments since this is acting weird today. Yes, okay, so now, this is the last thing. So many of you made that I am saving for, just that little box. It says, I am saving for, and you put in what you're saving for. Awesome. So what I want you to do, either tonight or tomorrow, and so one of the tasks that I'm going to give you tomorrow during the challenge, but you could definitely do it tonight, is to go back to iamsavingfor.com and upload a new picture and another goal, and to share it not in the group, because we had that great day where we had a ton in the group, which was awesome. But now it's time to inspire your network. Remember I said I wanted to grow this army of women in particular, men are allowed to obviously, of people who are on board every January. And one of the ways to get people on board is to show that you yourself are working toward better. Because when you show people that you're working toward something better, it gives them permission to say, well, I want to work toward better too. Okay? So you're going to go to iamsavingfor.com, upload a new picture. You can put the same goal, a different goal, whatever it is, and share it, like I said, not in the group, but make it your profile picture just for one day. I would love for everyone to have it as their profile picture on Facebook. And then also just to share it on their Facebook page, on Twitter, on Instagram, on whatever social media platform you are, but especially making it your Facebook profile picture, because I want Facebook tomorrow morning. I want like all of our networks to be like, what is going on? Everyone is saving. I want to save too. I want to join too. And so when you share it, please use the hashtag #IamSavingFor and hashtag #LiveWithYourChallenge. You can tag me if you like. I'd love that at the Budgetnista. So like at the Budgetnista, I am saving for a new house. Hashtag I am saving for, hashtag #LiveWithYourChallenge. So like I said, if you could do that, that would be great, because I just know that so many people feel afraid and alone. I remember when I was really struggling with like I lost my house. I lost all my savings. I lost all my retirement. I didn't tell anyone. And for like a year, I fell into like a depression about it because I was ashamed. And the thing that shifted me out of that shame and fear was one of my best friends, Linda. Woo woo. Hey, Linda. I know Linda's in grad school, so she's doing her paper like, not right now, Tiffany. But I remember after a year of literally hiding out in my house in the dark, like not doing the dishes, not calling anybody, not hanging out, Linda finally was like, what is going on with you? And I burst out into tears and I told her, I have like $30,000 worth of credit card debt. I lost my job. I'm about to lose the house. I don't have any money. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I just felt so ashamed because I knew better. I had learned better at home and I did not apply what I learned. I had made every mistake possible. And she was like, girl, that's it. I thought you killed somebody the way you've been hiding out. And her reaction of like being so non-judgmental and so kind, and that's just Linda, if you know Linda, being so kind and generous and loving, it kind of had me look at myself and say, she's right. I didn't kill anybody. I made a financial mistake. Okay. Tiffany, you know how to fix it. You've learned how to fix it. You've learned it at home. You've taken classes. You've read books. You know how to fix your financial life. And her kindness gave me the permission to go ahead and fix what was wrong. That's why being in the group and being positive is so critical to me. That's why I want you to share what you're saving for, going to iamsavingfor.com and uploading your picture, because I want you to give people in your life permission to say, you know what, I want to do better as well. So remember, iamsavingfor.com. Use the hashtag IamSavingFor and live with your challenge and make it your profile picture and then share it on your social media networks. So that way we can give permission to those people in 2016 to live a better financial life. All right, I'm done. So now let's go to some questions. All right, so let's see. Let me refresh some of these questions. All right, so if you guys have some questions, I would need someone to help me stay accountable. Okay, so Felicia, like I said, I am going to create a post in the group for people who are looking for accountability partners, and you can kind of pick from people and connect with them in that post. Where can you get your free credit score and free credit report? I know you know. Yes, Gina. Yes, I know you know. I do know. You can go to creditkarma.com. Gina, if you go to the starter kit that I sent you, there's a link directly going there. Yes. How does one become an admin? Makeup nerd? Well, we have our admins right now. Honestly, it's just people that I know because I have to be able to trust them with my brand and trust them to understand my ultimate dream and goal. And so these are just people who I kind of reached out to and said, hey, you've been helping me already kind of for free. Could you help me in the group to become an admin? So that's how I picked my admins. How can I start to save money if I'm trying to catch up on bills? Good question. So it's difficult. So this is the thing I had to learn, that sometimes there's a point where you're not going to be able to really save. You're just not. One thing, so saving and setting aside for retirement, two different things. You should always be setting aside for retirement, even if bills are late. I will say that again. You should always be setting aside for retirement, even if bills are late. Because when you're 80 years old and you have nothing set aside, what are you going to do? It is your younger self's job to look after your older self. So you have to set aside when you're younger. Because when you get to be older, so I'd rather be late on a bill at 22, knowing that Wanda, that's my old lady name. So I have a nickname for my 80-year-old self. Her name is Wanda. So so Wanda's like, girl, you better put my money aside. You could be late on Verizon. Sorry, Verizon. Verizon, you could wait. Who can't wait is Wanda, because guess what? Wanda can't hustle like you can hustle. Wanda can't work harder and do more. Set aside for retirement above all else. And then if you don't have enough money to save, it's okay. Even if it's $1 a month, if you don't catch up. There was a time where I had no money to do anything. I was still late on bills. So slowly but surely, I got myself current. And then I could save $5 a month, then 10, then 20. And so that's what I would say first. Set aside for, this is Anyetta Woods. I'm terrible with names. She can hear me but not see the video. Oh, well, I don't know, Cassandra. Hopefully you can hear me now. Thank you for including me. You're welcome. Ashanti's mom. Will this challenge work for someone with spouse and children? Yeah, so people ask me that all the time. Like, oh, Tiffany, the challenge is not going to work for me. I have kids, and that's just not true. So you have to know this, that the challenge is merely a guideline. So you have to pick what works. And the stuff that doesn't work for you, it's okay. Let that go. So definitely, so I have a boo, Superman, that's his nickname. And Superman has a daughter that lives with us part-time, Supergirl. And so although I'm not financially responsible for Supergirl, I financially help out, of course, in the household. So these are things that I've created that work in my life, but also I grew up in a household where mom and dad had 5 kids. So a lot of these things are what I learned from my parents who had a ton of kids, and it worked out for them. So pick what works, Yolanda, and pick what doesn't. And if you can get your spouse on board, great. And sometimes in the beginning, it takes a little while to get boo on board, but you work toward it, and slowly but surely showing your significant other and your children what you're working toward, and they'll get on board too, hopefully. And Lisa, so if you missed anything, the good thing is once I turn off this hangout, what will happen is that people will you'll be able to, it'll create a video, so you'll be able to watch. Let's see. Why would someone dislike this? Oh, I don't know. Although we're not allowed to solicit, can we come up with a directory? Income does help you remain accountable. Yes, so I do want to come up with a business, a Dreamcatcher business directory, Brenda. That's a good idea. It's just that honestly, it's just been so many things that I've been working on. Like I'm working on a Live Richer Academy, which is the next level. So I believe that basic personal financial education should be free, but what I found is you guys want to learn how to invest, negotiate, deal with relationships and money, student loans and get them down, the next level of credit. You want to learn the next, how to start a business. And so I said, why don't I create an academy? And why don't I get the top people that I know in these fields to come and teach you guys how to work through those things? So the academy is not going to be free. It won't be like super expensive. It'll be some sort of like monthly amount that you can pay to have access to these classes. And some of them I'll teach, but many of them are from top level financial experts who are going to come teach you. And so I know that because if you want to take your finances to the next level, you have to learn beyond the basics. But the basics will always be free. The challenge will always be free. And the academy is something new that we're bringing on board. Okay, anybody else ready for this new start? Any other questions? So will this be the only challenge for this year? Well, it will be, I definitely have, so the way the challenge works too is that once it's done, I automate it. So that means, like, let's just say you're like, I want to take it again. You'll be able to take it again throughout the year. Or if someone misses the January sign up, they'll be able to sign up in February, March, all the way to until the new challenge starts. So yeah, getting married later in this. So LaDJ, is it possible to purchase a home before we get married? If my credit score is a 652 and we have, it's going to be difficult, LaDJ, to get a home. It's not so much the credit score. I would definitely sit down with a realtor or a credit counselor. There's this great website called the nfcc.org, National Foundation of Credit Counseling. Let them help you for free. It's a nonprofit organization. And what they do is they found partner agencies in your state that you can kind of go and get free or low cost help. What's really going to be hard for you is not as much the credit score as it is the debt, because it looks like you already have a lot of debt. So they're going to be very hesitant to give you even more debt. So I would really try to work down and getting down that credit card and student loan and auto loan debt before getting a house, because it's just going to make it very difficult for you to afford a mortgage anyway. When will the book be on ebook? So Jeannie, good question. So the Live Richer Challenge book, so all the other books are in Kindle. So there's a Kindle for this, there's a Kindle for this. I submitted this book for Kindle conversion. So I'm just waiting. I submitted it last week. They told me 10 to 14 days. So what that just means is probably in another week, 7 days, but I'm definitely gonna post in the group when it's Kindle ready. So even if you don't have a Kindle, you have an iPad, you can go and get the free Kindle Reader app on your iPad or any kind of electronic device, and then through that, you can read anything that's Kindle. How do you start investing? So great question. Yes, creditkarma.com, Ashanti's mom. So Sajay, how you start investing, one is you start with education. And so that's why I'm starting the Live Richer Academy, because I want to teach you guys step by step how to buy stock, what even the stock means, what is mutual funds, what's an ETF. So these are things you have to learn first before you put your money in, or you're gonna be like me, who I invested $20,000 with a friend when I was 26 and ended up owing $35,000 by the time we were done, because I did not know anything about investing. So starting with education. Let's see, I'm not a disciplined person. That's why I'm excited about the challenge. How do you start when you're already behind? Tanya Parker, great question. I'm not as disciplined as people think either, Tanya. Automation is a new discipline. So I'm gonna, week 2, I'm really gonna show you how to implement and automate what I'm teaching you. So that way these things are working, even if you're not working. And if you're behind, it's okay. So remember, like I said before, the challenge is a guideline. So you wanna create the budget that you kind of wanna live up to, but you have to work within what's actually happening. So you might not have enough. I had to learn. So when I lost my job, I lost my job in 2009. I was making pretty good money as a preschool teacher, like $65,000 a year. And then all of a sudden I was making nothing. And I had to make a choice because I could not afford everything. I had to make a choice between all my bills or my mortgage. My mortgage was $1,660 and the rest of my bills were like $1,600. But I could not afford both because I was getting unemployment. I think I was getting like $1,800 a month or something like that in unemployment. So it was like, okay, pay the rest of my bills or pay my mortgage. I decided it's better for me to be late on one thing, my mortgage, than to be late on the group of bills like student loans, credit cards, cell phone, all these other things that I had to pay. So I just stopped paying my mortgage, which was so scary. I remember calling my friend and crying. I'd never been late on anything, not being able to pay my mortgage. So I stopped because I could not afford to. I had even taken money out of my retirement account to try to pay, which is a no-no because I still lost the house. So now I have no retirement. Well, I do now, but I took out the money at the time. No retirement, no house. So that's why I tell people, leave your retirement alone. So if you're behind, you do what you can with what you have and you work toward doing better. So there's a magic about money. When you start taking care of it, you're going to start to see a difference and a change. So in the beginning, when I was behind and late, I was like, look, I'm not worrying about this mortgage. Just be on time with this, be on time with this. And then I got like a little job, like it's a part-time job after my unemployment ran out. It paid me a little bit more than unemployment. And then I got the next thing and then the next thing. And I started the business. And slowly but surely, I was able to climb my way out. But it took a number of years. And that's okay, Tanya. You know, like me, you know, people look to me sometimes, they're like, oh, Tiffany, you never had a financial problem. I'm like, what? $35,000 worth of credit card debt, $50,000 of student loans, lost my house because I couldn't afford the mortgage, moving in with my parents, moving in with my sisters, living in a room. I still have a 99 Toyota Camry, okay? I mean, I could afford a better car, but I'm like, 2016, I think I'll get something. But up until like a couple of years ago, I was still digging my way out. And so it's okay, you know, just know that you have to just work toward better. So start with what you can. Oh, you're welcome, Yolanda. I'm sorry, Pearson, Miss Pearson. Should I have an IRA account? So Miss Harris, you should have an investment account. An IRA is definitely an investment account. But you want to sit down with a financial advisor. So I'm a financial educator. That means I teach basic personal finance. A financial advisor is going to specifically help you with investing and insurance. And so that's who you want to sit down with to talk about what's best for you. Because Ms. Harrison, I'd have to know you, your life, your bills, you have kids, you have this, what are your goals before I can advise you on anything. Even then, legally, I can't advise you on those things because I'm not certified to be an advisor. So you want to sit down with a financial advisor. I posted my financial advisor in the group. His name is James. So if you can go to the group in the search box, type in James Financial Advisor, and that post should come up and you can hit him up. He is amazing. James doesn't give me any money. They're not allowed to. But I share James because James is thebomb.com. You need to lower your car interest rate. It's very high due to credit score. Dorothea. Yes. So the only really way is to possibly refinance. And so that I'm going to actually go through restructuring your debt and how to do that in the challenge. So stay tuned for that day, and I'm going to show you how you could possibly do that. Let's see. How do we empower our teens? River. Oh, I love your name, River Malik. So empowering your teens, it's not easy. So Supergirl, my boyfriend's daughter, is 9. And so in the beginning, I said, how can I get Supergirl on board with like this whole budgeting thing? Because she's an only child and her parents love her to death, which is awesome. But there was no real boundary of like what could be spent, what could not be spent. I remember the first time the 3 of us went to like Target or something, she like ran to the toy section and got a toy. And I didn't even know, I was like, oh, did she get like a report card come in or something? Because in my house with 5 kids, you're not just getting a toy because we're out. So I realized that whenever they went shopping, she just knew she was going to get something. And I was like, wow, this is a habit I want to break, even though it's not my child. Hey, Supermom. So her mom is awesome. She's part of the challenge. And so her nickname is Supermom. Hey, Supermom. And so what I did was I said, you know what? Supergirl is awesome because she loves to do chores. I've never met a kid like her. So we set up this thing called Chore Monster. And your kids might be old if they're teens, but where there's this website called Chore Monster, where if she does a chore, she can kind of use her iPad. Of course, she has an iPad, right? And then click like, yes, I did my chore. And then I will approve it. And then she can earn things toward that. So if you have a team, have them earn toward the things that she wants. And then when she would, like now when we go to the store, she's spending her own money because she will earn sometimes an allowance or sometimes she'll earn a trip to the store and she gets a specific budget. So she loves Staples, which I don't know why I love Staples, but she's like, I'm telling you, she's like 45 in a 9-year-old's body. And so now we go to Staples. She's like, oh, Tiffy. That's what she calls me. Tiffy, can I come to Staples with you? Yes. Do you have any money? She goes in her little piggy bank and she'll get like maybe $5, and she knows that is her budget. And so if it comes up to 505, I don't chip in 5 cents, because she's starting to learn now. In the beginning, she would look at me and I would say, no, something has to go back. So now she understands that. So slowly teaching them by showing them, giving them a budget, allowing them to earn. And now we started something new, because I said, okay, I wanted her to learn about giving, because she's the only child and she's great. She's not like super spoiled or anything, but she's the only child. So, you lean toward having everything you want, because all the toys in the house are yours, so she doesn't have to share too much. So I created, we got these little Tupperware bowls from the dollar store. And I had her write saving on one, giving on the other, spending on the other. So 3: saving, giving, spending. And whenever she gets money now, whether it's birthday money or money from her parents or whoever, she knows she has to put some in spending, some in giving, some in savings. She gets to choose how she wants to give. And savings will eventually be split into, some will be savings, some will be investing. But I'm slowly but surely bringing her on, and she loves the idea. So every time she gets money, she's like, look, Tiffy, I put some in spending, I put some in giving. And she told me she wants to start like a homeless shelter program, which I'm like, she's got $2, but we're working up to it. So get them involved by giving them parameters, giving them jobs, and having maybe them opening up their own little banks at home, something like that. Do I have everything you need? Yes. Kay, you should have everything you need if you signed up. I said everything. Adorned beautifully. What's the cost of the newest book? This book is $10. This book is $10. And it might be less on Amazon, because Amazon's always running a sale. And this book is $15. This is almost always on sale on Amazon. So like originally it's $10, $15, but like I said, just the other day, they had it on sale for $7 on Amazon. So especially if you have Amazon Prime. Oh, Shani, she says I have her in tears of joy. You can do this, Shani. That's beautiful. Let me see what else y'all got to say. Let's see. Can I be able to do the challenge if I'm making $300 biweekly? And is there such thing as a retirement account? You had me interested. Yes. Well, saving. So this is ULID, Miss Francois. So saving for retirement. Ideally, you want to save between 10 and 20% for retirement. In the beginning, you might not be able to do that. You might only be able to save 0.5%. Okay. 1%. Okay. Start with something. And then what I like to do when I first started was every 6 months, I would bump it up a little bit. So maybe I'm saving 0.5%. And in 6 months, another 0.5%. In 6 months, another 0.5%. And slowly but surely, I kept bumping until I finally got to where I am now, where I set aside 20% of my income. But it took a while. I started with 2%, like a few years ago. Now I'm at 20. But you have to start with something. And then $300 biweekly, I'll say this, that it depends on your bills. I mean, so if you don't have enough money, there's 2 issues. You either have a spend too much issue or a I don't make enough issue. Now, it sounds like you have an I don't make enough issue. So it's not that you have to pull back on your spending. You have to look to other ways to make income. Are there something you could do? Like at one point, when I first started the Budgetnista and I was making 0.000, one of the things I used to do was, because I was a preschool teacher at one time, I babysat. And so I used to make extra money that way. So asking yourself, what are some ways that you can make extra money to come in to help cover? Because like I said, you either have a spend too much problem or I don't make enough problem. What does day one consist of? So day one, Shauna B, let's look. That's a good question. Shauna B, day one is your goals. I always start every challenge with the same task is day one's easy financial task. Choose your savings goals, write them down, and share them with someone. So that's what's going to happen tomorrow. You're going to choose your task. You're going to write them down. I'm going to give you this awesome goal sheet that I created with a friend of mine named Tanya of My Fab Finance. So you're going to get everything that you need. So day one is just choosing your goals. James, you're welcome. Start with what you have. Do what you can. You're welcome, Agneta. I'm not being funny, but the first thing I need to do is print the info you emailed me, right? No, Marla, I know you're not trying to be funny. So you can print it if you like. So I gave you a starter kit. Everyone should have one. I sent it in email like 1,000 times. You got it. Some of you got it when you signed up. So you can print out the starter kit if you can. You might not have a printer, but so you can pull it up on your computer. But yes, having the starter kit would help because there's a budget sheet in there that's going to help you during the challenge. So yes, I probably would start with that. Do you pay a credit card balance off immediately? So Erin, I really suggest paying a credit card balance off completely every single month. Tiffany, hey Erica, met you at the coterie. Yes. It'll be a little harder since yes. So Erica, I met her in Barbados. Whoop, whoop. I spoke in Barbados. This is my first international speaking gig in December. And when you get paid a fluctuating income, so Erica, one of my first classes that I'll be teaching in the Live Richer Academy is specifically for entrepreneurs and how to budget. Because when I first started my business, I've always been good at budgeting. But when I started my business, I was failing miserably because it's a different animal of how to manage your money. So I said, you know what? I'm going to create a class in the academy where I teach you step by step. Now I'm like a master budgeter. So I can budget with a regular income and I can budget with irregular income. Super saver. Oh, I like your name, super saver. Student loan in default. Should I make a settlement using savings or rehabilitate? So is this a private loan or a federal loan? So if this is a federal loan, you know, they are way more lenient with kind of getting you back on track. So really asking them the ramifications between settling or rehabilitating. Like what are those, it depends what those terms mean. What if your issue isn't saving but only credit? Well, Shonda, I mean, your credit is only going to do better if you're paying down debt. So then this is what I would do, honestly, Shonda. I would still do the challenge, but I really go through credit in the Live Richer Challenge book from 2015. You might want to get that book because I go through and people have hit me up and told me their credit score has jumped hundreds of points since they've done it, 150, 30 points. So that might be the original Live Richer Challenge book might be the book for you. Hey, been here. Appreciate your help. You're welcome, Marla. If you're saving toward retirement, where do you put that money for retirement? A savings account or an investment vehicle? So Petra, great question. In the beginning, you might put, like if you're saving like $5 a month, you could start with a savings account. And then as you start to grow and have a little bit more, you want to choose an investment vehicle, but you want to sit down with a financial advisor to help you do that because you want to find the right investment vehicle for you. So the credit website again is Credit Karma with a K. Credit Karma. Have you heard of the, yes, I've heard of the Hope. So Anietta asked me, have I heard about the Hope program? I have. Let me see. Actually, I know somebody who works there. It says it helps you get a free home within a year. Would I recommend it? Well, Anietta, I always say this, I'm not going to recommend something that I have not personally used or something that I have not seen someone that I know personally use it and it worked. So I don't know. I mean, I've heard good things about it, but I cannot say, oh, definitely go for it because I have not used it and I don't know someone super personally that has used it. But like NACA, the NACA program, I have not used it, but NACA is also a program for home buyers, but a really close friend of mine had used it and has done amazing by it, and a few of my friends. So I would recommend NACA because I know, like my friend Chike, he went through NACA. He rocked out. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. We went through like what was so great about it. So that's a program I can stand behind. But the whole program, I don't know. Some budgeting apps are hard to figure out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I heard good things about Mint, that girl, Carolyn, but I have not used Mint because, you know, I'm like the budget queen. So, you know, I don't really use budgeting apps, but I'm going to try to get some more recommendations of budgeting apps because some of them are a little bit hard to figure out. Let's see. I'm going to refresh these comments and see. We have about 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes before we sign off. Let's see. Anything else? Any other questions? I don't know why I can't see the comments in like regular time. I have a lot of student loans. This is L. Clayton. Hence, my credit is poor. One collection company has already garnished my wages. Should I continue to have them garnished, or should I contact them and beginning a payment plan? Well, L. Clayton, first things first, start with a budget because before you start a payment plan, you have to know what can you pay. Because a lot of these companies will say, well, we want $200 a month. And you're like, well, I don't have that. So no, this is like, so I have worked with like when I lost my job and I didn't have enough money to do anything, I had to work out payment plans. And so, but before I made that call, I would look at my budget, which I'm going to show you during the challenge, how to create a basic one. And one of the things that I would do is look to see, Tiffany, what can you actually afford? So that way when I'm negotiating from a place of knowledge. Like, well, $200 sounds great, but according to the way that my money's set up, I can afford $50 a month. And they might go back and forth. And so I remember one time telling the agent, like, you know what? I can promise you 200, but if you actually want to receive money, $50 is what I have. So we could pretend like I can get you 200, but in actuality, $50 is what I have. So start with the budget first. But yes, I would prefer a payment plan unless you don't think that you're going to be able to stick with it. If you feel like, you know what, I am not going to pay, then allow them to continue to garnish. But I prefer to have that the power in my own hands. These headphones like aching my ears. I'm writing a review on Amazon. Hurt your ears. How do I successfully dispute a derogatory? So if you want to dispute, and what should I do first, smaller or bigger amounts? Oh, thank you, Shayna. So is it derogatory but it actually happened? Because if you did make that mistake, then you can dispute, but if it's real, it's likely not going to come off. If it's derogatory, but it's not you, then there are in the group, if you go to the Live Richer Challenge group, the Dreamcatchers group, in the file, so there's a big file box on the top. It says like files. Click on it. You can actually get some. So we have a great credit people. There's a woman named Linda Marks. There's a woman named Nativa Hurd. There's a woman named Regina. I can't remember Regina's last name. So these are some great credit people. So you go to the files and they have actually some dispute letters that you can use. Nativa, who's awesome, is actually going to be one of my, she's going to be teaching the next level to fixing your credit in the academy. So stay tuned for that. Nativa is like amazing. Let's see. Anybody else? Tiffany, oh, thank you, Crystal. Crystal said, I rock. I have to be honest, you're nervous because I have money all over, digit online. Yes. Will I be adding to the list? Well, it depends. So know this. These are things I suggest to help. Crystal, you don't have to use them all. And these are things that I use. So I didn't just say, hey, use Digit, it's great. No. I have Digit on my phone. I use it. I love it. That's why I was like, you know what? I like it. Let me tell them about it. I use Credit Karma. I've been using Credit Karma for the last 3 or 4 years. I love it. And so there are other things that I'm using that are helping me. So I'm merely sharing them. The choice is yours. So if you're someone who doesn't feel super comfortable, and that's okay, then you don't have to use everything. But I don't want someone not to get help. And so I'm always like, if I'm using it and it's working, I'm going to share it. Like one of my favorite financial websites, Magnify Money. I love that website because what I love about Magnify Money is some of the other rating sites, the banks and credit cards will pay them to get good grades for their products, but Magnify Money does not take money to give you a good grade. So when I go there and I'm looking for a new credit card or bank site or website or whatever, I go to Magnify Money and they will tell me honestly, let's see, this is why. Or just say, hey, here's why. And so, like I said, Crystal, there's a ton of great apps and I want to help you navigate through those apps. And so if an online only account, I love Ally. That's one of my favorite online only banks, but you don't have to do that. Do what you feel comfortable with. I'm not pushing anybody to do anything. I'm just merely sharing what's working in my life. So I am like, is it Frankenstein? What is the one where the scientists, the crazy scientists works on themselves? Whatever that thing is, that's me. So I like to work on myself first. And if it works, I'm like, it works. And then I give it to you. So just know that I have something called the Lisa rule. So I have 4 sisters. Oh, let me see if I can grab my thing. Hold on. Oh yeah. So I have 4 sisters. This is 5 of us. At my sister's wedding, Carol, she's had a baby. Whoop, whoop. So I have 4 sisters. And of course, they're going to be like, Tiffany, get me off the internet. And so this is the baby, Lisa. She's the youngest. Lisa just turned 26, 27. And so my Lisa rule is this. She's doing the challenge too. I always ask myself, because we're the most protective over her because she's a baby. I always ask myself, if I would not ask Lisa to do it, I would not ask you to do it. So I always ask, is this something that I would have Lisa do? And if it is like Digit or online bank, for sure, Lisa has those things. I told her the other day, are you signed up for Ebates? Do you have Digit? Did you get your online account? Then I know that I can sanction it for you because there's nobody I feel more protective over than Lisa. And so just know, Crystal, that anything I'm sharing with you is something that I personally use. All right, so just maybe one more question. I know we're already over time. All right, so just to wrap it all up, let's see. Will Digit mess up if you're in the process of closing on a house? No, Digit won't mess you up, Shwanda, if you are. How do you join the Academy? All right, Marla. So the Academy is actually, thank you for that question, I forgot. The Academy it will start in February. And so I haven't picked a clear date yet. We're taping videos because the Academy is going to have videos, it's going to have just courses. And so we're still in the mix of doing those things. So the Academy will start, like I said, we'll launch in February. And throughout the challenge, as I get closer to launching the Academy, you'll get more information about the Academy. I'm super excited because I got 2 investment people. One this woman named Mary. She lives in Colorado, and Mary is, well, she was, first of all, she's a financial advisor, certified. And then on top of that, Mary was also the beginning investment teacher for the University of Colorado, I believe. So it's like, this is what she did for a living. So I'm like, oh my God, so she's going to teach basic investing. So I'm excited. And then I had this young, like hip, cool, funky, chill girl, Maribel. She has this Girls on the Money is Maribel's business, but she teaches like how to invest in stocks. Like, so with Maribel, you're going to get like instantly, okay, this is what I need to start investing in stocks. Mary, you're going to get the solid foundation. Maribel, you're going to be like, boom, here's what I need to do. And so I'm just excited about teaching you guys that. And then I have, like I said, Nativa teaching credit. I'm teaching a Budgetnista business series because so many people are asking, you know, how did I grow this successful business? And I do this full time and I make, you know, a good living. So I'm going to be teaching you how I did that. My best friend, who's my publicist, if you have a business, is going to be teaching, you know, how do you get media attention? We're going to have a negotiation teacher teaching you how do you negotiate that salary that you want. I have this amazing, her name is Zara from the Grown Zone. She's teaching all about relationships and money. How do you talk to boo about money? What conversations you should have before you get married? What about you and your mom and your brother and your family? So all things relationships and money, Zara is going to cover. The Academy is going to be, it's like the crowning jewel for everything I've been doing. So wrapping it all up, remember, if you're going to hang up, if it's late, I know it's 10 p.m. where I am. You can, if it's not late, go to IamSavingFor.com and upload a new picture, do a new goal, make it your profile picture, share it on Instagram, Twitter. Don't share it in a group. We already had that day, but share it on social media in general so we can get more people on board. And tag me at The Budgetnista using the hashtags IamSavingFor and Live Richer Challenge. I want to flood the social media timelines tonight and tomorrow morning. Like, make it your profile picture at least for a day. And I thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you caught the tail end of this, don't worry. As soon as, Ashanti's mom's excited. Me too. As soon as I like close out this, like, the hangout, what's going to end up happening is YouTube is going to save it as a video. So I'll be able to share the video so you'll be able to watch it again. I love y'all. All right. Good night. All right. Stop.